Welcome back. Picking up in verse 15 and 16 of Exodus chapter 1. This deals with these midwives. So the nation of Israel has been oppressed. They continue to multiply. Didn't matter. And so now here comes Pharaoh trying to get the Israelite midwives to kill the babies, specifically the baby boys. So this is just two verses I want to look at for a minute. It says, Then Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, gave this order to the Hebrew midwives, Shiphrah and Puah. Great names. When you help the Hebrew women as they give birth, watch as they deliver. If the baby is a boy, kill him. If it is a girl, let her live. Now, remember this. These would not have been the only two midwives in the nation of Israel. These would have been two ladies, and maybe they were kind of the leaders of the midwives, and they would have been giving instructions as they, to the other ones as they went. But they were at least two of the senior ones that would have been able to guide and influence the rest. So this is interesting on a couple of levels. The males, by doing this, by killing the males, you're immediately weakening the people. You're weakening this nation, and in a generation, you will destroy this nation. But specifically picking the males, those are going to be the ones that will be the warriors. Those will be the ones that would have been considered a physical threat to the Egyptians. Because remember, warfare is very different than it is today. A lot of warfare today is somebody on a ship or sitting in a base pushing a button. I've seen videos of people flying drones with missiles on them and launching those missiles, and they're literally sitting there looking at screens like they're playing a video game in an arcade. I mean, it is wild. But in this day, combat war was physical. It was in your face, up close and personal. Swords, shields, spears, axes, that kind of thing. So it was tough. It was tough stuff. And so eliminating the males would eliminate any probability that the Jewish people could rise up against the Egyptians, or that the Jewish people would be able to help another invader, as had been a concern. Now, the other thing here is I think this is 100% satanic. I mean, Satan wants to destroy the nation of Israel. Satan wants to still destroy the nation of Israel today. Israel, even today, is still the covenant nation, right? When even Israel spiritually may be far from God, God is still faithful. His covenant is not ended. And you look across history, it's fascinating to see, beginning here with the oppression in Egypt, the number of times in different ways that the Jewish nation is put in jeopardy. Going from here through a lot of other instances across the Old Testament, through all of history, going into the Spanish Inquisition, the communists in the Soviet Union, Hitler himself. We look today at some of the things that are happening in Israel with the different terrorist groups and countries that want to wipe Israel off the map. Satan has never changed his tactic in wanting to destroy the nation of Israel, both from within and from without. And it is by the will and power of God that Israel and the Jewish people are who they are today, and that they are still here. It is unbelievable. Only the hand of God could guide and do this. And so tomorrow we're going to see what the midwives do. We'll talk about that then.